Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and very good day to all of you. And we meet again in our corporate communication subject for online lecture. And today we will talk about chapter 13, which is corporate social responsibility and community relation. And this is our last chapter for this subject. And I hope that you will really listen and go through to this lecture for you to gain an understanding on corporate social responsibility and community relation. All right. In this topic, we will discuss the concept of corporate citizenships and corporate social responsibility, or CSR, and we will examine community relations, area of corporate communication that is closely aligned with the company's goal and reputation. Okay, first of all, we look at the definition of corporate social responsibility. Corporate social responsibility is about accountability towards the whole of society. It is not just to shareholder and customers. So in a fully developed stakeholder model, a manager's key objective is basically to coordinate conflicting interests and values of stakeholders rather than controlling them. This is not about containing stakeholder interests but attempting to accomplish them through corporate activity. So, World Business Council for Sustainable Development in 2002 said or defined corporate social responsibility as a continuing commitment by business to contribute to economic development while improving the quality of life of the workforce and their families as well as of the community and society at large. So corporate citizenship is the portfolio of activities that organizations undertake to fulfill perceived duties as members of society. And for example, the corporate citizenship is first pro bono activities, where the activities meant for the public good. This is where the professional render their service to the community either for free or in a very lower cost. Yeah, for example, like a doctor go to the rural area, for example, and giving them, for example, free medical checkup, free diabetes checkup, and so forth. It is called pro bono activities. While corporate volunteerism, it is where, for example, a corporate take part in any voluntary activity, for example, for the flood victims or earthquake victims, or like they volunteer themselves to participate in many other activities, for example, like to help the orphanage people and so forth. While charitable contribution, it is where the organization is actually contributing either in terms of dollars and cents or in kind to uh, any organization, for example, like old folks homes, to the what we call a welfare uh, home and so forth. Yeah, and support for community initiative. It is where the organizations or the corporates come down in helping community initiative, for example, like to support their economy well-being, their health well-being, and also in supporting the initiative for healthy lifestyle and support and so forth. Yeah. So CSR in the aspect of triple bottom line, where the main objective of the corporate social responsibility is meant to help, yeah, the organization or the public, yeah, with the profit that they gain with the support of the public. So profit was considered the conventional bottom line, and Joel L. Kington introduced the term triple bottom line, where business is not just meant for profit, but it also need to take care of the planet as well as to the people, because business without people, and there will be no business, And if you're doing your business and then you harm the planet, then you will have no place to stay and do your operation. So the triple bottom line, giving an awareness to the corporate or to the business organization that you are not just focusing on harvesting or gaining your profits, but you have the responsibility in taking care of the planet as well as the people who are living on the planet. And CSR codes actually give a broader than corruptions and bribery. Yeah, it is not about corruption and bribery, but CSR is giving back with a transparency kind of act. Developed by business association, industry groups, and multi-stakeholder coalition. For example, like Organizations for Economic Cooperation and Development Guideline, OECD guidelines for multinational enterprises recommended for voluntary principles and standards of ethical business conduct. And United Nations Global Compact principle also involves 10 principles that focus on human rights, labor condition, environment, and anti-corruption in the operations of any corporate or the operations of any business. So CSR communication have three standard communication strategies, which are stakeholder information strategy, which will be conducted or operated in one-way information flow. And the second one is stakeholder response strategy, where it involves two-way information flow. And the third strategy is stakeholder involvement strategy, where mutual dialogue between a company and its stakeholder will take place. And this is where we are very transparent on what we are doing, and we have a place to actually settle down the issues, and also in the process of making the best decisions or the best options to the program and activity to be conducted. And uh, knowing about this, actually, when we talk about greenwashing, it's about corporate social responsibility rhetoric. Yeah, what people believe, what is or the ideal of corporate social responsibility, or the theory of corporate social responsibility, and the corporate social responsibility implementation. So in between this, there is a gap where we call that as greenwashing, where greenwashing is a communication and marketing strategy adopted by companies or other organizations. It consists in putting forward ecological arguments in order to forge an ecologically responsible image among the public. So this is where organization responsibility is ecologically is about ecology of the country, where it consists of the planet and also the people who are living in the country. So CSR reporting and dialogue. Yeah, normally all the CSR activities will have to publish reports and launch CSR campaign, public consultation, ongoing surveys of stakeholder opinion, and 90% of FTSE 100% largest listed corporation in the UK use CSR reports. Yeah. So it is mean actually CSR also can help, for example, like giving back to the community, and it is where you also company can make use of this to get the what we call tax exemption. So CSR reporting guideline, first you have to set clear objective of your report, where you have to demonstrate the company is serious about corporate social responsibility by setting clear objective for social and environmental performance annually, and by systematically reporting on the results achieved afterwards. And the second guideline is set progressive objective. Objectives are progressive in bringing new aspirations and standards to bear upon business operation instead of regurgitating of existing practices that may be seen as socially and environmentally viable. While next is about involved stakeholder objective and target. include issues that are relevant to stakeholders and are linked to clear benchmark and standard at the industry and policy level. And report transparency is about reporting in an honest, transparent, and full scale self assessment instead of polishing of performance data. And finally, it's about accountability, where performance data are rigorously assessed and verified by credible auditors or accountants or consultants. Now let's look at the community relation. Relates to communications and engagement with residents of the local community in which the company resides with its facilities. A specialized area of activity within corporate communication, and it will give an impact on organization report reputations, and it will increase in large corporations, has led to opposition from community activists. Corporate patrol over people's lives and political arenas, and psychological contract between companies and communities. So these are among the reasons why community relation is very important when you exist, when your operation or your company exists among the public or within the public community, and you have to develop a relation with them. And the community stakeholders are the activists, like for example, like environmental activists, or for example, like consumer activists, individuals who are living within the community, community groups, yeah, local government and councillors, labor organizations or union, and small business and store and shopkeepers. And characteristics of the old and new approaches to community relation. Yeah, for example, like there are charitable donation prior to 1980s, community involvement in 1980 to 1990s, and corporate citizenship is about 1990 to present. The objective of charitable donation, for example, goodwill with local community leaders and residents, employees, and community involvement meant for reputation as employer of choice with resident employees, and corporate citizenship is meant to gain trust and legitimacy across stakeholders in the community. Scope of community program for charitable donation is charitable donation to local charities and causes, and community involvement, employee volunteer programs, growing involvement in social welfare programs, and corporate citizenship is about partnership with local public institutions in improving the community and increasing welfare, while general approach is as for the charitable donation, general approach, idiosyncratic implementation dependent on requests from a company leaders or managers' personal networks. And as for the community involvement, general approach is specific approach of fostering productive workplaces linked to competitive goals. While corporate citizenship's general approach is about a wide-ranging approach driven by mission, values, and wide range of stakeholders. So elements of community relations program, we can see here, is level of commitment to community, either through partnership, volunteering, and philanthropy, to align between program and elements. Yeah, it is very, very important with the objective that we have set earlier. So, and then you choose which program that you will go for. Either you want to be a partner with the community, yeah, partnership program with the community, or you want to be a volunteer to the program, and you want to be a philanthropy where you give things for free or in a lower price, or you will consistently donate certain amount of money in order to help the community to run the activities, or to like subsidize the expenses of the activity for the for a community kind of program. So